Sorry, Jerry, we had to cut that short. The camera decided to go off, so I think we're going to have to segment this interview into 10 to 15 minute segments. So we were talking about balance. So Jerry, what knowledge, experience led you to the design in the way that you did, the balance, length, and etc.?
I guess we can start with the overall dimensions first, and everyone who has a basilisk will notice that there's a lot of similarities between the two.
Yeah.
And I guess the biggest thing with the basilisk was, me personally, I like the feel of the basilisk, the overall dimensions, and if we're talking about dimensions first, one of the dimensions that I thought could be improved on was the length of the blade. So if you put the two side by side, the handles have increased in length slightly, but the blade on the Tempest is significantly longer than the basilisk, and the proportions are a little bit better. The Tempest has a slightly thinner blade because it has a better, I guess if you want to call it, steel stock to profile ratio, where the basilisk had a very thick stock and a very small profile.
All right. And about the spacers, the balance?
Yeah, with the balance, it was obviously it has titanium spacers with titanium handles, which is a more uniform weight distribution. But I know that some people prefer more weight in the back of the spacers, in the back of the handles, sorry. And that's why there's an optional stainless spacer kit. I mean, me personally, I like the way how it handles with this titanium spacers. It has a very decent swing, but if you want a little bit more swing, I know everyone's got preferences, so I went ahead and had an optional stainless spacer kit as well.
Right. Now, I'd like to add something to that. You know, some people, going back on preferences, every volley song, any knife, it's not going to flip by itself. I would just like to point that out. Personally, I really enjoy the balance on my Tempest, which has the titanium spacers. Meanwhile, I read a post on the JD recently saying, you know, he didn't, out of the box, he didn't quite like it. He felt that it was unbalanced, just completely two different opinions. But I would like to make the point that on any knife, you can make it stall if you don't put enough of your motion. You know, it's called a movement for a reason. So before you decide, you know, this is a good flipper or this is a bad flipper, I suggest, you know, you practice with it. If you're flipping with something lighter, it's going to take time to go with something heavier, and vice versa. So before you place judgment on whether it's good or bad, just spend some time with it and see what happens, see if your opinion changes, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. That's part of your preference, that's part of your style, and that's a good thing. Variety is important. Alright, now on to the next question. What projects are in the works, / are these knives still available? I know I've had a few people on my YouTube channel ask me, you know, is this still available? Can I get it? Where do I get it? You know, that kind of question. I didn't want to answer for you. So, okay, really quick. What projects are ahead?
So I guess the next project that should be coming up shortly actually is the high quality production trainer. I feel like there are a lot of trainer knives out there, and with the exception of a few, such as the ones that Benchmade has released, there aren't a lot of quality trainers. There's a lot of cheap, eBay trainers that are out there, and the quality is just terrible on them. So what I wanted to offer was, especially in the light of a lot of competitions and shows that need to have trainers for, I guess, liability reasons, is I wanted to put out a very high quality trainer at a reasonable price point, something to be very attainable to people, yet still have things, good features like a bushing system and titanium machine handles, and have that available to people, I guess, before the spring happens.
Okay, and on to the other part of that question, are these still available? Basically, how do people get their Tempest?
Well, it's on edcknives.com. There are going to be more that are going to be appearing on the site in the next few months or so. I think right now we had to do some more manufacturing, some more rework to have more Tempests available. I broke my favorite torque driver, so that's kind of a downer. And yeah, I guess I just got to get cracking.
Okay, so wait a minute. There's still a certain amount of blades, correct?
There's still a number of blades. There's quite a few. I also have a few surprises in the works. So the could be some special edition Tempest coming out.
Okay, so the general answer is just look at EGC Knives. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, wait around for the secondary market or wherever it pops up. That's a good question. That's a good enough answer. Jerry, thank you so much for being part of this. I believe that's all the questions I have. Anything to say to the YouTube community?
Yeah, I just want to say to everybody thank you. And I guess I also wanted to mention that for those looking for the next live blade project, after the trainer, there's going to be a production knife that's going to be very nice and at a good price point and everything. But thank you to everybody who supported me, who's kind of kept up with the project, and thank you, Nathan.
Thank you. And thank you, YouTube. Thanks for looking. Take care.